Remember that old saying from Patrick Scott Key? Give me liberty or give me death. Wow, getting morbid already. No, we're good. We're good. Anyway, hello everybody. This is Mikey, of course, from ChattyBloggerMS, which stands for Mikey Sues. My wife's laughing too. Um, so this is really, as I said, this will be probably the last webcam, hopefully until April 1st. Like I said, when I do the four parts to the greatest, to my, in my honest opinion, one of the greatest religious TV miniseries of all time from 1977, Jesus of Nazareth. Yeah, which will start April 1st and will run consecutively for 4 days until the very day of Easter Sunday, which falls this year on April 5th. Alrighty. First in the box. Hey, Kevin! Kevin. I swear, man, you have extrasensory perception. You must have known I was going to go live, right? After Gorilla's show. Yeah, Gorilla, you're my brother Gorilla of Gorilla's Random Thoughts is still one of the best people on YouTube. Please endorse his channel. And if you get a chance, don't forget to go to his cooking channel as well. He did advertise it. Lemon did. Sir Lemon advertised it in his chat tonight. So, for the Silverback Lounge that he did. So yeah, please go there and if you find the address again to his Cooking with Gorilla, yeah, please subscribe. He's looking for 50 subscriptions. That's all he's looking for. As soon as he gets it, he'll get started. The first thing he's gonna do is those barbecue baby back ribs. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I hope he even makes banana bread on the side. He is a gorilla after all. Come on, make some banana bread. I'm just saying. Or if you can't do the banana bread, go with the cornbread. Cornbread goes great with ribs. Last time I checked. Anyway, Kevin's theme park is first in theme park adventures first in the chat. Hello, sir. Welcome for being number one again for the 10 millionth time in history here at this channel since we started. Just kidding. You know I'm exaggerating. But hey, it's great to see you, brother. Kevin says, hey, Mikey, and of course the big wave. The big wave to you too. And Suzanne, of course, gives you big waves and big hugs there, Kevin. Hope everything's going well with you and your family, of course, as I always ask. And hope things are doing well for you, sir, especially. Um, yeah, I don't plan on being here for at least more than a half an hour at most. Uh, and I've got 2 likes already, so awesome. Um, yeah, my family and I are doing well. There you go. Yep, our family's doing okay too. There's been no major announcements from our parents or anybody down south, down in the states or anywhere. So thankfully, everybody's doing well. Yeah, for our family, our own extended family, and the other families we're associated with. So yeah, everything's going pretty well. I don't know about the rest of the world, but hey, I don't really care anymore. If we're all gonna blow ourselves up, make it fast, make it quick, and make it stick. See how that rhymed? That was cool. Okay, but I know Kevin gets it, and I know my wife gets it. So let's see, what else are we going to talk about here, real quick? Okay, so like I said, uh, I'd like to get the numbers up. And do you know, this is so cool. Either it's a big glitch, and I'm really happy that YouTube has glitches like this every once in a while, or I did see 14 people hit that like from the very last stream I did just yesterday, because right now we're into Friday. We're here into Friday the 20th and of March. And we're getting close. Like I said, a week from this coming Sunday, yeah, the 29th of because there's 31 days of March. We all know that. So the 29th of March is, Palm Sunday. Yeah, the week before Easter, right? The weekend before Easter. So make sure you mark the calendar well. Remember that on April 3rd, which is a Friday, that is Good Friday. So try to limit yourself at least to one meal. Now, remember what Pope Bob, or as we technically call him, Pope Leo the 13th, has said during this time of Lent. If you feel it necessary and you feel like you need a burger or something on Good Friday, Don't feel badly and don't feel like you sinned against God. Okay? God understands. If it's necessary to eat something, like I'll tell you, as my beautiful Universal Life Church wife here, Suzanne has already told me, Pope Bob had made a few changes to how you celebrate Lenten season. I think they're great. I think it's genuinely how you feel at the time, and if you need something, you don't want to feel like you're starving yourself, right? Because that would be bad. That'd be the worst possible thing. That's why Pope Bob is such a good pope. I like him. I really do. I enjoy his camaraderie and everything else he goes through. Yeah. And he has a lot of controversial subjects he has to go through every day with his you know, with the rest of the council there, the ecumenical council there in Vatican City, all the cardinals, right? The college cardinals. He has to talk to them every day. He's got his, his assistant. He's got a, there was a special Italian word for it, but I can't remember it offhand right now. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of discussion, and I know he is closely watching everything that's going on over there in Iran and Cuba and Ukraine. Um, yeah, I know he's watching everything. He is. He is a very okay, this is what I got from his Christmas mass, some of what I got to see. And by the way, don't forget that entire Christmas mass that was shown live on Fox, it is available through the Mikey Sue's playlist. You just have to look it up, but it's there. So make sure you check that out. Yeah, that was a fantastic mass. Um, anyway, from what I got from the mass there, Pope Bob, that's just what I call him. Yeah, I know he's Pope Leo the 13th. I know this, okay, religiously, but believe me, his first name's Robert. He's an American. I just call him Pope Bob. It feels comfortable saying it off my tongue. I think it's great, and and I'm not degrading him in any way, or you know, being the Pope of the known free world. Regarding Christianity and Catholicism. All I'm saying is that he's got some good points, and he's going to be very thorough in his statements that he makes. When he has his, you know, everyday mass, and then of course, when he does Sunday mass out there in Vatican Square, people go there just to watch him, say mass and whatever, and even in Latin. Man, I got to learn some Latin somewhere. I really do. As I'm getting older, I should ask my dad, "Hey, is there a good place I can go learn some Latin, Dad?" I mean, I do. I would love to go to a fully Latin mass. It's been a while, me and Suzanne, and we could just listen to the Latin and know exactly what it means, every single word that's said, right, by heart. That's kind of cool. Anyway, sorry, didn't want to get too much into religion there, but the more key points, which are wonderful to talk about in religion circles like that, religious circles. Anyway, so getting back to this plan we got for the channel, as I said, right now April is looking at two different events. Like I said, we're going to cover Jesus of Nazareth in the same style that I do normal live webcams. I talk about some of the characters, I talk about some of the actors, the actresses, I go over the trivia, to some points. I don't cover goofs, I don't cover quotes, I don't do those things anymore. I don't know whatever got into my head to do those things, but it was just, I don't know, trying to promote the channel in some way. I've found that as long as I leave the goofs and quotes of any movie or TV series or films or anything like, or songs even, I've been able to get more views. So but I'm not limiting the information. You know that, right? I'm just trying to consolidate it into a more comprehensible form. Yeah, that was hard to say, believe me. As you get older, it's really hard to go big words. It's like, wow. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so what we're looking at is for right now, this is what I plan on doing. So the 4 days, as I said, April 1 through 4, all four parts of Jesus of Nazareth from 1977, one of the greatest TV miniseries ever created in history. And I'll talk about it briefly, like I said, through each webcam. Then we'll celebrate, Suzanne and I will celebrate Easter. We'll get our normal, cachet of chocolate and some, uh, candies here and there. We're gonna have some fun. Now, tomorrow on Saturday, our wonderful cat Moon Pie turns 9, and my beautiful wife has already got a frozen confectionery in there in the freezer. So yeah, we're gonna celebrate that with our beautiful Moon Pie and beautiful Deja Vu, her younger 5-year-old sister, and they're gonna have their little, you know, sweet treats, and we're gonna have our sweet treats. It's fair. We all share it. And yes, yes. Before you say anything about our type 2 diabetes, believe me, we do control the amount of sugar we take in and the intake of that. So yeah, we okay. All I can say is we'll be extra careful, and we always have been. My wife's really good at that. Hey, I told you she's good at just about everything. She's smarter than me. Come on, let her let her run things. I'll let her do that. Yeah. So so we got, like I said, our girl Moon Pie's birthday coming up on Saturday. Sunday, we'll go spend the day, hopefully with Lisa and Adam. I hope that we still have all that on the calendar, that it's still all confirmed, and we're just going to go see them in the afternoon. We'll hang out at Timmy Hortons, and then we'll go eat somewhere, and we'll all share it at a vegetarian type place, or someplace with less meat. It's fine, and and that's, like I said, this Sunday. And then next week we are taking time off. I don't plan on doing any other streams from people. I'm sorry, Seth and Sabrina, if you're doing something next Tuesday on the Hill Jack, I can't be there. This coming Saturday, Chrissy, my sister, our sister, I won't be able to do your thing on Saturday. Suzanne and I, we're just gonna enjoy the next 2 days, uh, Friday and Saturday this weekend. I might do just one stream, but it's a special one because um, a friend of mine, William, he's Crazy Horse. He's going to be doing a little bit of a stream himself, so I might join him, for just a couple of hours on Friday night. But I hope to get to bed by a certain time. I want to try to get. I want to start trying to get to bed at an earlier time. I'm hoping to make a change to the times I stay up late. I'm trying to start the 1st of April. I'm going to try to do that, to work toward that, so I can start getting to bed earlier, feel better, sleep more, um, and that's the thing. Hey, Larry, welcome. Welcome, everybody. My best friend in the world, Larry of Be Yourself Adventures, 50 plus years in the running and still going, still ticking. Yeah, my brother, exercise is so very important, especially when you have type 2 diabetes, because that way you'll lose a lot of the body fat and help tone up muscles. I'm just saying. Yeah, and I'm just acknowledging it. I totally agree with you, Larry. Hey, Larry, I told you, I'm going to have to do more exercise than I expected when Suzanne does have her surgeries. Okay? She's got a right knee surgery first. Then a couple months later, we decided, okay, she's got to get her second one, her left knee done. The doctor has already said that as such. I'm going to have to do a lot more. I'm going to have to go out a lot more. So, in a way, I am forcing myself to go out there and exercise so I can help buy a few groceries here and there and do stuff like that. As I said, right now, I can't do much because we're on a waiting period. We got to wait till her doctor, whoever it is, whether it's a male or female, says, okay, let's go. You have to go under the knife. Let's do this. Let's do this right knee and take care of that first. So don't worry, Larry, please. Larry, go enjoy yourself over in Florida next month. And I did vote in your poll, by the way. I'll let you know my choice. I said, go see Epcot. If Epcot's still there, go see Epcot, even if it's for a day. Yeah, that was my choice. Kevin says, hey, Larry, be yourself. Adventures. Larry says, maybe they'll start calculating your calories. I love you, my brother. Try to see if we can start doing a plan to help. Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, sounds good to me if I can get out to do that. Absolutely. Yeah. Kevin does say yes, exactly. Exercise is so important. Guys, I'm working on that. Okay, I really am. Suzanne will back it up. I'm really trying, and I know she's gonna. Like I said, when she gets incapacitated, I'm gonna have to do more. And you may not see me on here very often. Then you'll wonder what happened to me. I don't know. uh, Hopefully nothing. I know that God's always been with me, so I'm good there. My brother, I understand that, but you got to do it all the time. Yes, I know, Larry. Larry, please, please. I know you love me, brother. I know this. But my parents say the same thing, and I keep trying to reassure them that I've been doing the best we can for exercise. We always, like I said, we always go out at least once a month for sure. And we do a lot of walking. Okay? We're not just pushing our carts, our walkers all the time for rehab. We're trying to get around. I'm not as fast as I used to be, dude. You and I, when we were younger, we were running around all the time, my brother, all the time. So yes, it's just how it is. Everybody's different, dude. My brother, everybody's different. Okay, just I know you understand. I know you do. Yeah, you have to put in the mindset. Walk around your apartment. Just walk around, calculate how many footsteps you do a day. I do. I average about, well, let me see. Yeah, I average about 30 to 35 footsteps a day. Yeah, just walking around this apartment, going to and from the bed to go to the bathroom, remember, we live in a bachelor pad, okay, Larry? There aren't much places around here to walk, okay, but I do. I do get around. I don't sit in this chair all the time. I do get up and I walk around too and try to help, Suzanne out with dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever she's doing. I go and walk over to her side of the bed and give her big kisses and hugs and everything. Dude, I do that. I really do. Be Yourself says, hey, Kevin. Kevin says, I also did vote and I choose Disney Hollywood. Oh, that's not a bad choice. I like Epcot. I don't know. I have a fondness for Epcot. Let's see. Larry says, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't wait until Suzanne's getting surgery. I will start tomorrow. Just small steps, small walks. Okay, granted, Larry. I hear you. Okay? But please don't be like like our parents. I don't want my mom and dad to constantly harass me and tell me, you should do this and do that. No, they stopped doing that a long time ago. They know I can take care of myself. They know she can take care of herself. Yeah. We're adults now, Larry. We're old enough now to know better. And your situation, trust me, Larry, I don't want to end up honestly. I feel totally, extremely badly how you've ended up with your situation. I really do not want that to happen to me or Suzanne. It almost did. It woke me up. It did. Hmm. Yeah, it did. I don't want to feel that way again. I will not. I will do the best, absolute best I can to make sure she and I never felt what we felt back last November. No. Mm-mm. Kevin says, yeah, some I do walk around. Yeah, well, we do too. I walk out, I go outside. Okay, you remember, we live on a 13th floor, okay? So sometimes I'll walk down that hallway to drop some, recyclable trash. I leave it there for some of the maintenance guys. They pick it up, they take care of it. Because I can't, walk all the way downstairs. I can't do that anymore. And I go out into the balcony. I walk around there sometimes to see the snow, things like that. I do a lot of those things, my brother. I do. Okay, Larry says, I love you too, my brother, but this is something that's got to be taken serious. It is. Adam the Woo, one of his things, uh, yeah, one of the things that caused his death was obesity. What, but he still walked around, didn't he? And look what that got him. He still walked around, still went to places, and yet, just saying, Larry, you and I outlived him. So you and I must be doing something right. Suzanne's doing something right. For us to outlive Adam the Woo. He only lived to be 51, dude. You are 61. You just turned 61. I'm turning 60 in a few months. She's turning 60 in at least half that time, in 3 more months. So, yeah. Well, no, I mean, he knows what I mean. Yeah, I'm turning 61 in September, but you'll be 60 in June, and we share that for 3 months. So yeah. Yeah, Larry says I'm still running around all the time, my brother, and that's great. I'm proud of you, Larry. Hey, you're doing what you need to do. No, my dad did the same thing, okay? You may not remember, but my dad, when he had his heart attack, he had to go through his own exercise program that was prescribed, right? His own plan. He had to do nuclear exercise, they call it, I believe. He had to go through all that. And mom is there to help him. And Suzanne is here to always help me. So it's fine, Larry. Okay, please. We're doing all right. Don't worry about us. Larry, love you, brother. I mean, I know you love me. I know you love Suzanne, you know. We're kindred, we're family. So please. Yeah. We're doing the best we can. Yeah. And Kevin does say nice to Larry, right? Larry says you should do about anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000 steps a day. I'm working on it, Larry. Please. Okay? Please. We are. Okay? We're working on it, please. Yeah, Larry says, I know, but I care about your health, Mike. Yeah, and I care about yours too. I do, every single day. Do you know what would have happened if you had left, Larry? I don't even want to contemplate it. I don't even want to think about it if you had left us. No. It would I've told you, it would have been like my dad going away or my mom going away, you know? No. Please, don't go there. Now, I don't even want to think about it. Please. Um, yeah. Larry says I averaged January from 1,000 to 2,500 steps a day. My brother, that's what kept my health in tune because I've been through hell. Yep. And I'm not going through it again, right, anymore. I'm definitely watching what I eat. We do too, sir. We absolutely do watch what we eat. That's the first step. When I was told I had the diabetes, the doctor who I did have at the time, usually about the same one that, well, she has a different one, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I knew what I had to do. And I think I've been doing a pretty good job. Suzanne will agree with me. So, we're doing what we can, Larry. Come on, you got to understand, our situation ain't that much different, right? I understand that. But at the same time, there's also all this BS going on with politics. Uh, other races are out there. They want to hurt us. We got those same kind of races that live here. The very things that I don't want to get political, but the same races that are out there that we're fighting against all live in this area. And if you piss any one of them off, you're in trouble. So, dude, and they just passed that law. I don't know if you heard, Larry, but they passed that censorship law. So if I say anything else badly, and if I try to instigate some kind of revolution or a coup or some other thing that they think, I'm going to get a knock on the door. That's where we are now. Censorship. That is where we are now. So I got to be really, really extra careful. So, you know what I go to? My backup. My backup option is staying here, talking about pop culture, and every once in a while, a lot more, trying to get out there. But it's a dangerous world, Larry. I'm surprised that you're able to get out there and do this. So I'm really applaud you for that you can get out around this terrible world. Yeah, Adam never went to the doctor. True. And you've been there. I've been there. I've been to a doctor. She's been to doctors. Yeah, right. Adam Wu never went. Look, Adam the Wu, rest in peace, lived the life he wanted to live it. He didn't want to be felt like he was tied down to a doctor or nurses or anything like that. He was just going to live the life he wanted to up until his very demise. And that is exactly what happened. He lived a life to the fullest that he could until he was ready to go. And he went. And peacefully, by the way. Don't forget, he passed away in his sleep. And as you, Larry, most awfully, or, most know, and believe in this strongly, as I do, as Suzanne does, as Gorilla does, a lot of us, we'd rather go in our sleep, right? We'd rather just you know, if that's the last day or the last hour, uh, whether it's night, day, afternoon, don't matter. If we're asleep and we just don't wake up again, that is the best way to go. Let's just hope that somebody finds us early enough, and don't leave somebody there for like a couple days when then, where rigor mortis sets in and then it gets all stupid. Yeah. So, yeah. And smelly. Ooh, ooh. I wouldn't want to find anybody in our apartment if, God forbid, if, Suzanne and I were to go tomorrow and, and nobody really talks to us here in this building and, you know, lets it go for a few days. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. Sorry. Um, yeah, Larry says, I don't even know why I said January. Brother, it's okay. It's okay. Up here, I'm starting to lose some. Okay. Now, I told you, I have a Warehouse 13 brain. And if people know what series I'm talking about from the Sci Fi Channel, you know very well what I mean by Warehouse 13. So, that being said, as we get, and these bed bugs drive me nuts. Anyway, as we get older, our faculties, right? Our mental faculties start to decrease. The brain cells start to kind of like, and they disappear a little bit. Now, you don't want them to disappear in a great quantity or quantity, right? Yeah, not the other word. Sorry. You don't want them to disappear in a great quantity because then, if that happens, oh my God, Alzheimer's. Not to mention other things that can happen with your mental framework. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. You want to try to keep yourself going. I play this game, which helps my mental capacity try to maintain some kind of cohesion. And then, I do read books on occasion. I got books right in front of me I can read at any time just to stay a little bit, viable when it comes to comprehending things. And I watch a lot of stuff. I do. Um, and I take it like a grain of salt. There's a lot of things on YouTube nowadays. There's a lot of things all over the internet which you just take like a grain of salt. And if you believe in some of it, okay, that's how you are. But, most of the other time, I'm just like, okay, I just saw that, And if someone recommends a book to me, absolutely, I'll go read it or, glance through it or some other thing. Yeah. But you know what I enjoy the most is because Suzanne and I and the cats, we all have a life experience we share uniquely among the four of us. We're so well bonded and such a good family to each other that we love each other very much and unconditionally. We have that capability. We love each other so much we can get through days. We can have the worst of days and we can get through them with no problem because we've got two cats that love us unconditionally and my beautiful wife and I who love each other unconditionally. It's a beautiful arrangement, and it's in a nice little comfy space like this, you know. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I live in America. They better never ever take that freedom of speech away. I hate to tell you this, Larry, but you're getting very close to that right now. Yep. You got to remember the mental capacity of the man who runs this country up here is almost equal to the mental capacity of the one who runs it down there. So if you're saying that right now, you don't know, man. You don't know what's coming. Yeah, don't say that because yeah, you don't know what's coming. It's already happened to us. Never can tell. Remember, the president of the United States has emergency powers and they can pass through them. I know there's been some restrictions put on that policy of his, but there are ways he can get around that. Come on, man. We all know who we're talking about here. Let's see. Okay, so remember, as Larry says, you didn't even know who Adam knew was until I told you about him on that one live stream. But that's how he lived, right? But he did not eat right at all. Sure, he didn't eat right at all. But Larry, I told you back when I had my very first channel before I met this beautiful woman 4 years later, I had Warlord Fade. And on Warlord Fade, I remember seeing, before I lost it, or, it went away, I saw Adam the Woo down there, southeast Arizona, before he got to Tucson. He was looking at those UFO type buildings, some weird structures that are still out there to this day. And why were they built? Why were they there? Adam the Woo was there. If you look it up on his channel, you can find the video. I know where it is. You can find the video and check it out. And I knew of it. I mean, I was aware of it and I had seen it. I mean, back then, that's when I really enjoyed watching a lot of things on YouTube. Let's be honest, when it first started out. So, yes, I am aware of that. Okay. I know of those. And I've seen those structures. I've gone by them before I met Suzanne. You know, I traveled some by myself. You know, I had a car. I could drive around. I could do stuff, you know, and I'd seen those things for myself. You know, I didn't actually go out to the structures, but I knew where they were, you know. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I was aware of him. I just didn't really signify that I eventually one day he was going to die. You know, I knew he was going to maybe one day, sure. But I mean, I never anticipated that it would be much later. But, you know, hey, and that's why I did the stream. I honored him. You know, he was one of the first vloggers. But yeah, you and James Fogle did the bit before before he even did. So I applaud you two for that, even with Carlsbad Caverns where you guys went. So yeah, I do. So this is the last live stream before next month. Yes, sir. I hope so. I may pull in one or two. You know, you know me. I'm unpredictable. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I love this channel, because I can be unpredictable. And Suzanne and I, we talk about every time I plan to go live, and she says, good, because you get bored if you don't. If you even go a few days without, you really get bored. And I say, yeah, I know. And I go outside every once in a while and I walk around and get bored. And then so I just walk around outside and do little things. And then I come back. So yeah, I mean, for now, just taking it at face value. That's what I'm saying. This will be the last one I hope to do. Like I said, because we're gonna go see. We're gonna have a wonderful visit. Hopefully, still with Adam and Lisa. You know, for this coming Sunday afternoon on the 22nd. We're gonna hang out. You know, we'll go say we'll have like hot chocolate or something because it's supposed to rain and snow. Okay. Every time that Suzanne and I like to go out somewhere, God in his own personal humor says, hey, I'm gonna throw rain on you. I'm gonna throw snow on you. Woohoo! Yeah. Or even during summertime or springtime, summertime, don't matter. He throws all sorts of weird butt weather all over on us. So believe me, it's hilarious. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Solaris says, so this is the last live stream before next month. Yeah. So basically, so yes. Like I said, unless I have to come up with a stream that would only be done if there's breaking news or some other thing coming around, or if somebody else drops dead, right? You know, that we know. You know, Trump is nothing like who you have in Canada, not even close. Well, yeah, you'd have to convince me of that, Larry. Um, Look, I know Trump is probably much different. I know because I've watched some of his, unfortunately, you know, things he's done. Um, but yeah, no, Carney's worse for sure. Yeah, I won't debate that one. Yeah. Yeah, that should be a great visit with Lisa and Adam. I hope so, and I hope we maybe get to do something live of that. Maybe. You know what? I'm leaving it totally in their hands. I'm leaving it up to Adam and Lisa. I'm not going to force the issue. I know Suzanne isn't. I mean, we're just going to, you know, we're going to hang out together, the four of us, have some fun, you know, go to a couple different places and, you know, eat some good food, you know, decent food. Remember, she's vegetarian, so we're going to enjoy some vegetarian, you know, and we're open to that. We always are. So, yeah, he has succeeded in a lot of things. He said he was going to do that. He was going to do before he started office. Okay, okay. So Larry, continue to believe that. Please do. Okay, because like I said, I'm trying to avoid talking about any more politics. I really am because I really am sick of it. You know, I'm trying to concentrate on other things, which, you know, for my own personal health, her personal health, and our cat's personal health, and everything else going on, like you just said, those are more important to me right now. I told you the last time I voted for somebody entirely different before I left the United States. I voted for an independent. I did not vote for Hillary Clinton, and I did not vote for Trump. So there you go. Maybe Lisa can do a video. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. She could shoot something for us. Sure. Hey, I'm not going to badger her about it, okay? We're just going to enjoy each other. We'll have some fun. This will be the third time that we have gotten to see her. She is a very, very sweet woman. She really is, a very nice person. And you know, and she's a true Brit in every sense of the word, and we love that. We're just proud. We're very proud to know a friend like that. You know, we do not know very many people that we've met from online. Okay, um, and maybe we can change that. You know, maybe we might be able to meet more people that are online. I really want to meet. I want to go downtown and I want to meet a friend of mine named Greg Stillwell. And Greg Stillwell is a great musician. He plays instruments. He's very multi-talented. And one of these days, and he does a lot of old time music. Sinatra, Bennett, Humperdinck, all that. I want to hang out with him. I want to bring Suzanne down. I want her to meet him. I want to go down there and I want to hang out with him and do some music, collaborate, do some stuff. I'm trying to make these plans, Larry. It's not like I'm just sitting around on my ass and just going, oh, do it. No, I am making plans, Larry. So pray for us, okay? As I know you do, but continue to pray for us because we want to bring these things together. I want to be able to sing with this man. I want to stand on the stage if I can, still, without aid of my walker, and stand up there and sing with the man because I think he's awesome. You know, he's a great musician, as I said, and a good singer, a good songwriter. Okay. Larry says, I believe it's because I see it with my eyes, just like the illegal immigration. He stopped it for now. For now. But all that, no more apologies because it's something I really don't want to get into. Yes, on that note, yes, sir. So if I can honor your personal request to no longer talk about politics, I'm going to honor. I want you to honor my request that we just don't talk about politics anymore. Let the politicians handle their business. You know, we just have to live in this world. But hopefully we can live more fulfilling lives than the politicians who just expire theirs real quickly because that's all they care about is agendas. Hidden agendas, closets with skeletons in them. All sorts of stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going down the road to come up to Toronto to meet hang out with Scott. Yeah, Scott. Right, Scott on tape. Right. Yeah. And if you get a chance, hey, let us know where you and Scott on tape will be. We'll come right on down to downtown Toronto. We'll hang out with you guys. And when you do that, sure. If we're invited, that's no problem. We know since I moved here, this beautiful woman over here has been able to acclimate me to Toronto and the places that are safe and the places that are dangerous. And we've taken all the possible routes, because we only do transit. We don't drive. No, I won't drive around here. No. But it's just we know all the transit. I think there's only one line we've never done. That's line 6, which goes off from line 5, which we already just did. We took that. We took a day trip. We did. We went down, went on line 5, which they call the Angleton line. It's a light rail line. We took it all the way to Mount Dennis. That's a promontory point there. We went up there, we hung out, we walked around, did some stuff, and then we came back and took the same light rail back. Larry, we do get out. Believe it or not, we do get out, brother. We do. We just we're just very picky and choosy about the days we want to go out and do stuff. And like I said, when we talked to Adam and Lisa earlier in the month, and last month even, we asked what would be a good time for you, and they said, "Oh, March 22nd." I said, "Okay, what's a good time for you guys?" Just afternoon." I said, "Okay, great, yeah." And as far as I know, but plans can change, things like that happen. I totally get it. But I did say that to Suzanne, we have a commitment that we want to go visit our friends. But if something were to happen, hey, we're still going out. It won't stop us. I mean, we're still going to be out that day. So, Larry, don't worry. Okay, please. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. So as I said, when you get a chance to come up here with Scott on tape, and I had seen his channel, yep, he's a good guy. You know, and as I said, Adam, who's hitting jackpots, he lives over in Niagara Falls. Suzanne and I have already been over there 3 times. So if Adam and Lisa were to invite us to stay with them or to hang out in a hotel, and they pay for that. But we'll of course we'll pay half and they'll pay half. But if they asked us to, sure, we know what's in Niagara Falls. We know where things are, and we can just go down there hanging out with them for a weekend or something like that. So we got all of that planned ahead of time. We're trying to plan that ahead of time so we can you know save up money, do stuff, and then we go outside, run around, do whatever. Well, we can't really run around anymore, but we can push ourselves, as far as we can on the walkers. And remember, the walkers are a rehab vehicle. That's why we use them. That's the best way to get around for us. Now, anyway, at least you're still able to walk around yourself there, Larry. Without that help, without the aid of that. I'm looking forward to Florida. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos. I'll finally get to see the Atlantic Ocean. Amen, brother. And that is what I'm hoping to do with Suzanne before we die, is go over to where she used to live in Newfoundland, right there at the Atlantic Ocean, St. John's. It's right there. Yeah, and you know that the Titanic is not too far away from the shore. It's still down there in the bottom, 2 miles deep, and cracked in half and all that other stuff. So, yeah, we're hoping one day to get to see the Atlantic Ocean. She's been to the Pacific. I took her there. We had that fun. She's been to both oceans now. I have not. I would love to go to the Atlantic Ocean myself. And I'll get to see it in a better light. Well, in my own opinion. But I mean, I'll probably get to see an iceberg. I'll see one of those wonderful polar bears, one of the most aggressive apex predators on Earth, sitting on top of the iceberg, floating by and doing all that stuff. Yeah, and I'll just put my foot in the Atlantic for you know, one quick minute or something like that because I know it's cold. It's a bit more cold than Pacific Ocean. Let's say that. But yeah, I'll get a chance to do that. That'll be fun. Yeah, as long as we get a chance to do that. If I had more time, I would check out the Bermuda Triangle. Um, I gotta tell you, LOL. I gotta tell you, Larry, gorilla was on the fringe. He was on the edge of that and survived. So if a gorilla like him, a silverback like our brother, can survive the Bermuda Triangle, anything is possible. Anything. And Kevin says, "Nice, Larry," and thank you, Kevin, from Larry. Yeah, Larry. Because you're going over to Orlando, right? Um, but the Bermuda Triangle, remember, it stretches from Miami, Florida, to Puerto Rico, basically San Juan, and it goes all the way up to Bermuda, right? So that's the whole range right there. Yeah, you have to do what Gorilla did. He took a Caribbean cruise on the very fringe of the. Do you notice that most, if not all, cruise ships when they do Caribbean cruises, they do not go into the triangle at all. They don't. They skirt the fringe of it, that southern edge of it, of the triangle itself, but they do not penetrate that. The cruise ship captains that run the ship and the operators and things like that, they're smart enough to avoid all that. Yeah. They know it's neutral. It's neutral but dangerous territory, and they do not penetrate it. They penetrate. Penetrate. You Cornholio. TP for the manhole. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Larry says I'm going to be staying in a villa. Kitchen, living, dining area, and 2 bedrooms. It's a Disney resort. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stayed in a similar suite. Unfortunately, it was with Evil X number one. But Suzanne and I, we've been, like I said, we've been to Niagara Falls. We got we got married. We got hitched. We became fully engaged in Niagara Falls and had the greatest time. We had a wonderful time there, and we stayed in a very nice. It wasn't a luxury room, but we stayed in a very nice place. So yeah, I mean, Larry, yeah, we've done it. Yeah, Kevin says that's cool. Yeah, it was. And we got, and Kevin, how often is it that a couple like us got a chance to not only go across the United States, we started right up from Buffalo, New York, went all the way across the United States till we got to Scottsdale, Arizona, where my parents, her parents, Larry's parents all are. And then when we went back from Scottsdale through California, through part of Oregon, Idaho, got through Idaho, got across the border safely, calmly. Everything was great, less than 40 minutes. And then we went from British Columbia, the edge of British Columbia, mind you, east coast or east land part of British Columbia, went all the way back across Canada till we got back here to Toronto. Yeah, I did that. I've done that. I can now claim that. I saw the St. Louis Arch with this woman from a distance. We crossed Mississippi River with this woman. You know, I took her to the Grand Canyon. I took her to Jerome, which is haunted. I took her to a lot of great places, Larry. Yep, we did it all. We've had fun, and we've earned the right to rest. We do. We've earned that right. Larry says that's cool, my brother, but I wish you could have got some video. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I wish I could have, Larry, but at the time we didn't really think about that. At the time, we were just happy that we were able to get out and that we were able to drive for one last time across the country. But it was fun. But we did take pictures. Yeah. We still have pictures on our Facebook somewhere. Both I. We do have some pictures that we took when she was still down there living with me in Arizona. Yeah, for a short time. Yeah, we do have those pictures. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Uh, yeah, Larry, I just answered your question. Well, at least you have the memories. Did you take any pictures? Oh, we took a lot of pictures. Larry, have you even looked at my Facebook profile down there? I know we talk a lot and everything on the Facebook Messenger, but have you looked at all the video, or not video, I'm sorry, all of the pictures I took of different places I went with Suzanne? They're down there. hmm Even the pictures I took of outside the Jerome Grand Hotel, the one that's haunted. Yeah, I couldn't take any. I managed to take two outside, but I told you the Native American spirits that inhabit that hotel, they drained 16 packs of batteries. I had a video, I had a digital video camera, and they drained 16 packs of batteries. I kid you not. That's weird. And then when we were there, mom calls me. Mom, our mom that we share. Mom called me out of nowhere and said, and I quote, "Do you remember, Michael, about," and remember, if anybody calls me Michael, I know I'm in trouble or something's happening. And mom said, "Do you remember, Michael, there's anywhere from 500 or, yeah, 1,000 to over 1,500 Native Americans that died there?" And I said, "Oh, crap, that's right. The hotel is on a native burial ground." Yeah, you knew that, Larry. Come on, you know this. You're born in Arizona. Come on, you know this. So I'm like, yeah, really? Yeah, no, we have pictures. We do. We have pictures. Yep, they're there. Oh, Larry says I hardly go on Facebook at all. Maybe like 1% of the time. I mean, if I could take all those clothes to 4,000 people and put them on YouTube, that would be perfect. But I'm just not a fan of Facebook. Well, then I'm sorry, because that is where we have a whole bunch of video that some brief video I shot, but a lot of pictures are there. Yeah, and we went to Sedona together, Suzanne and I. We went to Lake Havasu City. We saw that. We crossed the old Tower of London Bridge, the original that they have down there. Oh yes, sir. We went through it. Everything. Yeah. The only times I've called you Michael, I called you a little Mike. Yeah, I know. Thank you for not saying my full name, okay? Because if you say Michael to me, then I know I'm in trouble by you, Larry. just just saying, sir. Just kidding with you. You know that. I love you, brother. Yeah, I love you. And please give all the love to Diane from Suzanne and also Ronnie, Kaya in London. Give us all their love, from us, and the cats, everybody. Yeah, yeah. Just like the El Rancho Hotel in Gallup. Yes, yes. I'm well aware that the El Rancho was haunted. I told you that. When you first went there, I told you that. Yeah, I was aware of it, believe me. Yeah, well, I most definitely will. Thank you. Yeah, don't go to Sky City, New Mexico. Well, you might have already gone. You guys might have gone by it. I don't know. You and Ronnie and Diane, and Tyler. But Sky City Casino and the restaurant and everything that's there, avoid it like the plague, dude. That is definitely buried, or that is definitely on the site of a definite Native Indian burial ground. Absolutely. I had one of the worst nightmares I've ever had in my life. And Suzanne, who likes to be very jovial and joking, said, of course, that she thought she was eating me like a turkey. She felt like in her dream she was cutting into me and thought I was some kind of meat. It still makes me laugh. Oh my god. Yeah, like turkey or a chicken, something like that. That was just hilarious. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, El Rancho is still cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've stayed there twice now. You're lucky, dude. And you survived? The hauntings? Yeah. Okay. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I love the El Rancho. Yeah. Yeah, I wish that Suzanne and I, had got a chance to stay at the Jerome Grand. I wish we had. That would have been interesting. Yeah. Maybe one night. Maybe we could have stayed in the room that people only stay in for like up to half an hour and then they leave with no, reason or rhyme or anything. Yeah. Wish we could have pulled that off. That would have been fun. Yeah. Yeah, there's just when you're there, you and Jim felt it. You and Jim felt it when you guys were there. There's something otherworldly there for sure. The vibes alone are scary as hell. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I told you before I met Suzanne, I went to go visit the Queen Mary, with Bernadette, with one of my sisters, and that was scary. Yeah, that was scary. Let's see. Larry says, "Yeah, just stay tuned to my channel because it's gonna really be taking off soon. Everything I'm gonna be doing. So please make sure you like and share the video. LOL. You know I will, brother. Come on. I've seen every video you put down. Yep, yep. I have downloaded and saved everything you've put down since I got back to your channel. Looked over everything. You've had some great adventures, my friend, and keep doing them. And I told you, don't forget when you go on your Route 66 eventually, right? Don't forget, please contact my buddy PJ Destin, my brother there in Chicago. He'll treat you to a good time. And I would recommend to PJ, hey, take him to the House of Blues in Chicago. I used to book that place a lot for people. It is fun. Yeah. So definitely check that out. Oh yeah, read that. Well, I'm not gonna read that ding a ling right now. And read that ding 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 ling. My ding ling. You remember that song? That's too funny. Justin right now is on the Route 66 trip. He just put a video out today. Oh yeah, Justin Scarred. Yeah, yeah. I'm friends with Justin. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check out Justin's video for sure. Yeah, definitely. And I told you, Larry, that I now am subscribed to JWW on the Move. Adam's dad. Yeah, and I'm also subscribed to Park Pass. You remember Park Pass? Yeah, he was there at the memorial. There in Garden Grove. He was there too. And Thomas J. Wilson. I'm subscribed to Thomas J. Wilson, the guy that played the Tannins generations, over Back to the Future for those three movies. Yeah, I know Thomas J. Wilson. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, he went to Daggett, California. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. This last hold on. Give me a minute. Let me mute my. Sorry about that, folks. I had to blow my nose. I didn't want to be rude, and I needed a drink because my voice is going out again. Oh, it's crazy. Um, Chris and Amanda, I've known for quite a long time. They're good friends with them. That's awesome, Larry. Do you know? Oh, of course you do, but maybe I'll just tell you. Do you remember Wonder Hussy Adventures? Yeah, the lady that lives mostly in the Las Vegas area, or used to. She used to be a dancer, among other things. But she has a place over near Death Valley right now, California. Yeah, Wonder Hussy. So recently, she was outside of Amboy, California. Now, the Royd's Diner that's there, they lit that light, right? They lit the sign. And, again, it had been a long time since they did that. So then she went to East Amboy, which they call Chambliss. And they had just recently lit the sign there. And I watched that video. So, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, this is Coke Zero, zero sugar. Yes. Yes, it is. It's what we drink. Yeah.
And juice and water.
And juice and water. Thank you, babe. Yeah. And the juice, of course, is sugarless completely. So, yeah. We use a sugarless, we only use sugarless juicers, Larry. It's just juice and water, is all it is. There's also a small Roy's Diner, right, that has exactly the same sign in Barstow, and it's open. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We went by Barstow, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We went by Barstow on our way back, when we came back here to Toronto. Yeah, we went by Barstow. We saw the diner. We didn't go in it, but I mean, we drove by it. Yeah, it was there. Yeah, I know where it is. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was fun. We went on the old I-5. We drove up through Sacramento. You know where that place is? That's called Paradise. That was a seniors living area and everything. Remember that burned all down when they had the wildfires up there? It was weird. We drove through it, and then a year later, that whole town burned down to the ground. It was gone. And then it took them a while to rebuild it. And then somebody showed me a video where it was rebuilt, that they built the entire town back from scratch. Yeah. And that was over a 5-year plan that they did that. So, yes. So I remember that. The town of Paradise. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, he says, "Hey, Mike, one more thing. I will be going live when I'm in Florida." Fantastic. And I will download it. I'll save it. I'm doing that for you, brother. I know that you do it for our channels. I know Suzanne doesn't have a lot. She has 3. That's fine. But but for ours, we share this. You know, Chatty Blogger. I know you've been downloading. I know you have, because that's what that's what we do, brother. We're like this. My new meme. Together strong all day long. That's my new meme now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to use the other one now. I'm going to use this new one along with the few others I still keep. Yeah. Most likely it'll be live at the park. We'll just have to wait and see what part I go to. Correct. Remember though, Larry, keep this in mind. When you go into these parks, okay, make sure they don't ask you for some kind of permit, because if you're going to shoot video, sometimes they will ask you if you have a video permit or if you're permitted to shoot in the area you plan on going to. Okay, be aware of that. I'm just letting you know, because we've been told, you know, when Suzanne and I, when we were going to certain places, they told us, "But do you have a permit to shoot this?" I said, "All we're going to do is shoot, a picture. We're not doing video. You're not shooting video, you know." And so we showed them, take a picture, and yeah. So I'm just saying, be careful, okay, when you go down there. I know some of the parks are like that. Yeah, you wanna be aware of that. Just saying. Okay? Just saying. Oh no, hey, Mr. Monroe and some other people I know always come in Orlando, Florida. They go to a different part. Just like when Adam did. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to if you get a chance and you go by Adam's old place, right? They're in Celebration, Florida. Please do so. Because I would love to see from your perspective what you think of the place he lived in, the area and everything. The lake that you live near next to, close to. Beautiful. Beautiful lake. And he did have some problems with Disney too, right? At one time, Universal Studios had a problem with him. Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, he did things that most people wouldn't even try nowadays, and yeah, he did get away with some things, but like we said, he died too soon. Yeah, yeah. He did what he wanted to do in life. He accomplished all of his goals. He went to Europe. You have not even said that you have even been to Europe, Larry. I haven't. She hasn't. You haven't. My parents have. They've been there. You know, I haven't even been to the Caribbean. Look at that. Gorilla got to go to the Caribbean, with his parents and his sister. I've only been to Hawaii, but I was there twice. I got to see Hawaii. You know, I went to Alaska. I did my cruise there. I've done one cruise in this life, so I can take that off my bucket list. Went to Alaska. That was fun. First time I got to see Canada was when I was over there in Vancouver, British Columbia, over there at Victoria Island. And I got to have High Tea at the Empress. Do you know how long it took me to get a chance to go there with my folks and have high tea at the Fairmont? It's now called the Fairmont, but it used to be the CP, Canadian Pacific Hotel. So at the Empress Hotel. Yeah, I had that. I mean, I can say I've done a lot of great things, Larry, and I'm proud of it. And I've done a lot of wonderful things with this beautiful partner of mine, Suzanne, and I love it. We've done some fun times, and we still have adventures ahead of us. We do. We have a lot more things to go visit and have fun at. Yeah, and we're working on that. We really are. Yeah, yeah. That's that. There's a long story of what Adam did. Correct. There says, "Do you like me? I like taking risks." Yes. Well, just like in Near Dark with Sean, and I went to that house, and we thought maybe somebody might be in there holding, hey, you know what? But it was empty, right? Oh yes, I'm a risk taker. I've always happened. Yeah, I know. When you okay, here's what I was worried about, Larry, and don't take this the wrong way. I know when we were together, some accident prone things. I know it wasn't your fault. Things happen. But I was so worried when I saw that video that you and James did, with the Carlsbad Cavern. I thought you were going to roll down that pathway, going into the cave, just into the caverns, just saying, right? I'm laughing here to myself. I'm giggling. But yeah, I mean, I know you're a risk taker, Larry. I know you are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I've always happened. True. Larry, Larry, you have met, both as a musician and as a, actor, extra, you know, with films and so forth. You have met more people than maybe Suzanne and I celebrities that we'll ever meet in a lifetime. And I'm not jealous at all of that. I might have been, let's be honest, I might have been at one time, but no. I realize that that is your destiny. That's your mission. You have to be with people that and you treat them just like normal people, right? They're celebs to most, but when you meet them, like you met Richard Grieco, right? I downloaded that immediately. I said Richard Grieco was great in 21 Jump Street, and when the TV series was out there, I looked up to him. Even I looked up to him, and you get to know this guy. How how cool is that? Maybe you even get to meet him. You met Rick Schroeder, right? Doesn't go by Little Ricky anymore. No, you met him. You met Keanu Reeves. Come on. I would love to sit with Keanu Reeves, even for half an hour, and talk about his work on The Matrix alone, and then on Speed, and other things he did. Yeah, absolutely. But you know him, and you know Alex Winter too, and Lance Hendrickson. Oh my God, I would love to talk to Lance. You know, but that is your niche. That is where you thrive and strive. Is these people as normal, everyday people that are just trying to make a living as a celebrity, as they do what they do, right? And that's all. That's what all I tell people here is for 20 years. I've been a YouTube creator of 3 wonderful channels, and all 3 of them I've shared with this beautiful lady in Suzanne. And I gotta say, I wouldn't take anything back. The only thing I would change though is I wanted to meet her 20 years ago before we met. Yeah, earlier, earlier in life. That would have been wonderful if I could have met her earlier in life. Yeah, he says that day, Mike, Jim and myself went down to Carlsbad Caverns 3 times that day. That's awesome, dude. He says, yeah, I have worked crew and we were in productions and didn't produce work. And didn't producing work. Right. And dude, you're part of IMDb. Do you know how often I like using IMDb information? And you're there? Dude, I'm proud of you. I've even mentioned you a few times. Do you realize when I talked about the Highwayman TV series, I mentioned you in my earlier when I was, doing Mikey Sue's War. I talked about you. I said, here's my brother's credits. I won't say his full name, his last name, because he doesn't want me to say it. And I honored that. I think I slipped maybe once or twice, but overall, I did honor your request. So I just said, this is Larry, blah, blah, blah. He's done this, blah, blah, blah. He's done that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've done that, sir. I'm proud to say that you're my friend. I'm proud of that. You know, trust me, Larry. You and me, we know Patrick, we know Frank, we know Jim, James, we know my brother, of course, obviously. Uh, dude, those are the only people I would ever trust in this life, and Suzanne, and and our own parents. That's it. That's it. I would trust. Well, suffice to say, I would trust at least both my sisters too, to some extent. Mostly one over the other, but that's another issue. But anyway, but yeah, Phil and everybody. So yeah. Right, Larry, you say, I am a communicator. Mike got honors by one class for being such a Mike got honors by one class for being such a shitty communicator. Oh, come on. Come on. I worked as a teacher's assistant. Come on now. I have pretty good communication skills. I've talked to some people. Let's see. Larry says I even got to meet Lee Remick, right? Sat down, talked to her for a while I was in when I was in Bisbee, Arizona. That's great, Lee Remick. Yeah, yeah. She did. What was I think one of those disaster movies? Was it Earthquake? Was it Airplane? 75 or 77? I don't really remember. Anyway, remember we are all blood brothers too. I'll never forget what we did. Yeah, what we did that. Yeah. Oh well, but no. I graduated college with honors and I got a 4.2 also. That's awesome, brother. Also in my communication class, I got a high honors in that. Well, you're very smart, Larry. I've never said that you're not smart. You're very intelligent. Yeah. You're a very intelligent man. Yeah. No doubts there. Hey, get off me, you dang bed bugs. Well, I hate to say it, folks, but I do need to go because I do want to try to get some sleep. I want to try to relax a little bit. Here, yeah, the Omen is right. The Omen is what she was in. Yes, she was there with Gregory Peck. Yes, yes, she was. And then she fell off off the top of the stairwell there. Yeah. No thanks to Damien. Yeah. Do you know that that kid that played Damien is still living with it today? He gets nightmares every once in a while. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for getting nightmares. When you're that little kid like that and they calling you the Antichrist, oh yeah, that's nuts. I told you, dude. Are the bugs bugging you? Yeah, a little bit. We do have a little bit of a problem with bed bugs in this building. On top of everything else, right? With the alarms that go off and everything else. Oh God, I probably just jinxed myself. I better get off here. Yeah, we have problems, dude. We're in a 60-year-old building. What can we do? You know. But overall, we accept where we are, and it's affordable, which is the best part. We have a place to live, not unlike some people out here right now. I point out this way outside this window over here. There are people right now living in 30 degrees with barely any clothes on, and they're out in the streets. That's how many homeless are out there right now. A lot. So please, you need to pray for their souls wherever possible. Well, look what's happening in Arizona, dude. You know, over there in Phoenix, my dad talked about it. It's called the Zone. This is where they have, right near downtown, where they have all of these homeless people. They were moved out of that zone, but now they're trying to move back in it because Katie the Hob woman is down there. The Hobbit. I call her Katie Hobbit. Yeah, the Democratic governor of Arizona. Anyway, um, all right, yeah, brother, I gotta get to bed. Me too, sir. I don't want you to be up too long and hurt yourself, or me, or her. you know. Anyway, so thank you, my brother Larry, best friend of over 50 years. Ay ay ay, boy, they're all over me right now. Um, yeah, my best friend of over 50 years for being here tonight. Thank you, Kevin's Theme Park Adventures, for being here as well, my friend and brother there in California. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here as always. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Larry. And thank my beautiful wife for monitoring the chat as always, taking care of it. Yeah. He says, I don't want to talk about her. She's evil. Yeah, well, best known Katie Slobs. Yeah. I just call her Katie the Hobbit. It works. Anyway, so thank you guys for being here. And like I said, hopefully this should be the last thing that we process. As I said, if we do other people's streams, that's to me that's different. But if we do something here, no, we'll wait till the 1st of April, hopefully. And like I said, we're gonna have some fun. Suzanne and I are gonna go out and have a couple of times of fun, and we're just gonna enjoy each other and the cold weather, and we'll be dressed to 3 layers, and that's what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, so take care, everybody. And as we like to say here, my beautiful wife, Suzanne, of course, being the Universal Life Church minister, who says, leave everything in God's hands. That's the best way to do it. Also, as my brother Larry of Be Yourself Adventures says, always be yourself. And as I have created a brand new meme now, sorry, Jim, sorry, Matt. This was something I came up with, said it's very simple. So, together strong all day long, and also to that wonderful man known as Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert at the movies, who was better than the Fat Man, but rest in peace, both gentlemen. And Gene, who worked for the Chicago Tribune, not the Chicago Sun-Times. I know you guys saw that earlier, and that was a big mistake I made. But thankfully, the family still allows me to say, and now the aisle's closed. So thank you all, guys and girls, for being here. And as I say, a quick prayer, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, dear Lord, watch over all of us at this time. These are very difficult times for all of us as we continue to get through the violence and unaliveness and everything else that's happening in this life. But we know, God, you're always there for us and with us, and in league in ties with us for the rest of our lives, and you will watch over us and guide us and help us on in anything we do, along with your beautiful Son Jesus Christ, the most holy blessed Virgin Mary, that was his mother on earth, born without sin. And then you have the Holy Spirit who guides us between good and evil, heaven and hell, and of course our patron saints, Saint Suzanne for my beautiful wife, and Saint Michael the Archangel, that I was named after by our parents. Uh, you know, who is the defender of heaven and sent the evil one and all his fallen angels to hell. And for all this we ask and pray. Amen and amen. Pray for us, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay. All right. So, on behalf of myself and beautiful Suzanne, and of course, Moon Pie and Deja Vu, and Moon Pie, we can't wait for your 9th birthday tomorrow. Meow meow. Peace from all of us. And Adam and Lisa, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. So we'll have some fun. So hopefully everything goes well there with you guys too. Okay. Everybody take care. We'll see you next time on Chatty Blogger MS. And amen from Larry. Thank you, Larry. And remember, we'll see you next time on Chatty Blogger MS, which of course stands for Mikey Sues. And take care, everybody. See you next time.